Anybody hear me? That's Mom live, by the way. Yeah?
You want?
Yeah. Huh? Let me know if you can see it on my... Hello, brother, loud and clear. Hey, Lewis, my man. Let me just share this to the Discord real quick so we can get a couple others. Hope you're doing well, man, with these crazy, crazy market conditions and this crazy time. It's been pretty wild. It's been pretty wild. We just gotta be patient, though. We gotta be patient. Hey, Sherry, Jason. I'm doing good. How are you guys? Hopefully you guys are all ready for the weekend. Get your mind off of the crazy market conditions. All right, we got people coming in. Hey, Sean, Joe, how are you doing, my man? Al-Hassan, wa alaikum assalam. How are you doing? Oh, man. Crazy, 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 crazy. Hope you're well. Doing pretty good. I'm at AMC 1290. What do you think it'll go to next week with the squeeze? I don't know. There's so many questions we all have, and I really have no idea what's going to happen. I know the SEC is supposed to come out and give their word. A lot's going on. You know, there's lawsuits. It's just madness right now. So we really don't know what's going to happen. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about during our stream today. Is, you know, what we should kind of expect moving forward with the current market conditions. And yeah, Puran, good evening to you as well. So I can go first. Oh yeah. Yeah, Jason. I really have no idea. So that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit today. We'll address some of those things. ATOS dropped some positive news today at 8 a.m. I did not see that, Hassan, but I'll look into it. Invested in caffeine. I like that name. Invested in caffeine. Crazy volatility. Thank you for your knowledge. I really don't have much knowledge, but again, I'm just sharing the little I know with everyone, just so we all stay informed as much as possible. Walaikum salam, Muhammad, watching from 3 a.m. UK time. I appreciate you, man. Get your rest. I know it's the weekend, but definitely get your rest. It's important. Moving to SoFi. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been talking about SoFi quite a bit. So, you know, that's very fair. I know Chamath came out and tweeted about it. Obviously, it's the company that he's working with. He's going to help them go public via his SPAC merger with IPOE. So again, you know, I see that a lot of people might be shifting from Robinhood to one of these others. So yeah, we'll talk about it. JAGX. I'll definitely talk about Zomedica. Just a lot of the things that we've been focused on lately. Nokia. I have 4 $7 calls for 2.5. You think I'm toast? Maxwell, we'll talk about it. Diamond hands. Yeah, lots of people talking about the diamond hands. But give me just a sec here. I'm trying to go on Discord because I told everyone I'd let them know when I'm live. So let me just set the link. Bear with me here. Can you guys see my screen, by the way? I want to make sure I'm actually doing this whole streaming thing correctly this time, where you guys can watch my screen. Let me know. Live on YouTube. Let's talk stocks. JAGS. We can see the screen. Just YouTube. You can't see me, but you can see YouTube. Is that right? So I'll hold on my stocks. It's my first year. I don't know what to do. My fellow druggist, Mike, my man. Welcome, welcome. All right. So I promised today we'll talk about, you know, a lot of these things. Welcome everyone to the chat. I'll pin that comment real quick so everyone can see it when they come in. Pin message. All right, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and get started because I know a lot of people have questions, as do I. Things have been insane this week. So let's talk about it. Let's pull up some of the stock picks that we're all in. JAGX, Zomedica. What else? Give me some CTRM. Sure, let's talk about it. CTRM. I actually sold my position because, again, it's not something I talked about in my channel, but I was just kind of uncomfortable with what was going on with it, just due to, the volume is there, but I just didn't know what to really see. YouTube and you. Eric, how are we doing? It's AP, welcome to the chat. ATOS, yeah, let's talk about it. ATOS stock. It had a little bounce up today. Interesting. But I'm way down. I'm down on all my positions. I had the most red week, I think this is the worst I've seen since March for me personally. So AQB, a few people, AQB. Senseonics, yeah, let's talk about Senseonics. I like that one too. Alright. So Sens, BNGO, another one that I'm in. BNGO held up. I was very impressed with how BNGO has been doing. Hey, Hassan, welcome to the chat, my man. My man. AMC, CCIV, yeah, that's another one. VYNE, it's another one I talked about, so yep, might as well. We'll have a lot of stock picks and we'll go through them one by one, guys. Also not too bad of a day for CCIV, Lucid Motors, potential merger. AQB, I don't know about, IPOE and AQ, okay. I don't know about AQB, I'll put it up just so we can look at it. Aqua Bounty, oh yeah, this is the one that a few people have talked about in the past. We'll talk about Aqua Bounty. NNDM, Dare is not one that I'm invested in. All right, we have a lot here. Let's slow down. I have NNDM, Dare, a couple others from you guys. Let's see. Nokia, yeah, we'll talk about GameStop, Nokia, of course. I won't skip on those. That's a must. Okay, we got our picks. MP Materials, I like that too, Addy, actually. MP Materials stock price. Okay. NNOX. Yeah, there's so many ticker symbols, guys. I'll try to get to as much as possible. I want to stream for, a reasonable amount of time. It is the weekend, so I know a lot of you hopefully have the day off tomorrow if you're working. I do, which I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. 89 people. Wow, I'm shocked on a Friday night. Welcome everyone to the chat. Welcome. It's been one hell of a week, honestly. Crazy week. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with JAGX and Zomedica since those have been the focus on my channel. So guys, let's talk about it. So we know this has been a very red week. Jaguar Health Incorporate. Yeah. Jaguar Health, again, we saw a full market pullback. I have to say what's up to Taboki. My man, always with me. So Taboki, I'm good, man. I hope you're doing well too, brother. Hope you're doing well. But let's talk about JAGX. Okay, so Jaguar Health, we heard, there was information that was sent out to all the people who are following Jaguar Health closely. We know Napo EU and Napo Pharmaceuticals was going public via SPAC merger. And that's something that was rumor. And again, I always repeat myself about the 4 rumors that we're looking for with Jaguar Health. Those being for Jaguar Health, sorry guys, I'm just, spacing out. The 4 rumors that we've been looking for, again, expanded labeling for Mytesi, which is, again, the direct subsidiary. So Mytesi is manufactured by Napo Pharmaceuticals, direct subsidiary of Jaguar Health. If Napo Pharmaceuticals does well post-merger, during the merger, Jaguar Health stock will also do well. So people need to make sure they understand that. So after that, the other things that we're looking for is the COVID long haulers. So they're saying that there's going to be potential expanded labeling in Europe. The SPAC merger was one of the rumors, which checks off. So unfortunately, it came at a terrible time. So when good news or positive news comes out for a company, typically speaking, we see the stock price, when we see catalyst, more people adopt Most people buy the news for these kind of things, but unfortunately, it came at a time which I wish they would have delayed it, maybe at a time when the market is bleeding heavy because of all the madness that's been going on, guys. The market has been suffering this week, and we need to understand. I know a lot of people have been worried, and again, do I have the S&P 500? Let me pull up the S&P 500 before I continue on with Jaguar. But if we look at the S&P 500, let's look at the max graph for the S&P. This is just, again, top 500, Fortune 500 companies, the largest companies listed on the stock exchange in the United States. What we typically see is the stock market, again, depending if it's in a bull versus a bear market, we see, price action and the stock markets, as time goes on, the value of stocks increases. Again, this is some people can think about it. If you're an economist, you might think inflation over time. Things become more and more expensive. Like if you went to the movie theater back in 1987, you're going to pay 5 cents to go to the movies. If you went to the movie theater in 2009, 2010, you're paying maybe, 100 times that, right? So instead of 5 cents, it's going to be $5. And now we pay $15. So again, over time, the best place to put your money, they say, is the market. And that is because, again, inflation. If you kept your money in a bank account, all that's going to happen, if you put $5,000 in your bank account back in 1981, when theoretically, as far back as you can go for the S&P 500, if you put $5,000 in your bank account then, and today you went back and opened and looked back into that bank account, sure, you can have some sort of little interest growing on that money, but approximately it's going to be $5,000. Again, if it's in a just plain savings account with no interest on it, it's going to be $5,000. If you were to put that in the stock market, just in one of these just in this index fund, again, I'm not a huge fan of index funds, but you would have 27 times your money, 2,700% increase. So what people need to realize is it's healthy for the market to pull back. If the market continues to go up and up and up, that creates very bad market conditions, unhealthy market conditions that creates a pretty severe crash. A lot of people have been talking about the 2021 crash due to COVID, etc., etc. But if we look at the 1 year chart, right, when we saw the crash happen due to the lockdown and from the pandemic, 31% drop in the market. The S&P 500 dropped 31%. And since then, we saw it raise back up all the way at its pretty much all-time high here, beginning of 2021, to 3,800, right? And now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. On the 5-day, it's pulled back quite a bit, 3.6%. That's pretty significant. But again, there are reasons that this is happening. Traders are upset. People are frustrated because of what's going on. Yeah, I agree. Arash, I see your comment there. It's been a scary few days. My stocks are bleeding, and what's going to stop? So what I always tell everyone is that when you're investing into the market, so I know some people are day traders, and obviously for day traders, you never let money, for the most part, except small positions, you never let money sit in the aftermarket, if I'm not mistaken, correct? You day trade throughout the day, sell all your positions before market close, and you keep going. Now, when it comes to us long term, for the most part, for myself, I don't know how many of you are actually long term holders or long term investors, but for me, I look at it as, if a stock flies up, and I talk about this time and time again, if it skyrockets up significantly where it's like 100, 200, 300%, I'm gonna take profits. Obviously, that's just sensible because, again, whatever comes up must come down. But with the same token, whatever goes down ultimately must come back up when it comes to the market, unless, again, they declare bankruptcy, there are some really fundamental issues with a company. I don't foresee that happening with some of the things that I'm invested in. Now, again, remember, guys, anything that you watch on YouTube, anything you watch on my channel is not financial advice. And I don't say that just to kind of, cover my butt. Sure, that's one thing, but I need each and every one of you to become informed investors. I learned how to invest because of YouTube. And so I'm just giving back what I learned. But again, it's not the best. I'm not the best investor. Sure, I've done well in the past while, but if everyone looked at their portfolios this week, I'm down a lot of money. Now, am I worried about it? Absolutely not. Because again, there's reasons for this pullback. Currently, we saw what happened with the short squeezes, right? GameStop, AMC, you guys are saying them on the chat, Nokia, all these different things with this whole Wall Street bets fiasco that's been going on. And I'm not going to lie, I decided to have fun with it. I bought some Dogecoin yesterday, and I saw my money literally double within minutes. And I was like, this is remarkable. But again, whatever goes up must come down. I'm still holding, but ultimately, because I think it's fun. But again, I'm always careful because I'm skeptical about these kind of things. I don't know when it's gonna, when the big whales who are holding Dogecoin, or when the movement decides to shift from one stock to the other. And you guys all need to understand that time and time again, I saw in my comment section that people decided to sell their healthy growth stocks that they see potential in to jump into this hype. That's not the smartest idea, guys. Right? I can't tell you what to buy and not to buy, but again, I always remind everyone, be careful with what you do with your money unless you're willing to lose it. Now, when it comes to the market, a lot of people will say, anything I put in the market, I'm willing to lose. But how many of you right now are willing to lose everything you got in your portfolio? I think 0 of you would say yes. Am I mistaken? Probably not. So remember, you really have to be careful when you're investing, and realize if you believe in a company long term, you're going to buy the dip. How many people on my Discord have been mentioning, I can literally pull up the chat. Numerous people have said, I'm going to sell. I don't know when this is going to stop. I don't know when it's going to happen. But guys, this is so normal. I know it's scary, and I know it seems substantial. Again, for Jaguar Health, we're down 30% from its all-time high in the past. Since January 8th, the last 21 days, 3 weeks. That's concerning, sure. But again, if you think about it for the long term, really not. Fundamentally, has anything went wrong with the company? If the answer is no, I'm not worried. If the CEO came out and said, something crazy like, I don't know, they hurt someone or they did something that caught on the news, right? We know some controversial CEOs out there. That's still not something we should worry about. So guys, the reason I keep reiterating these same things over and over again is if you believe in a company, if you know that some of these rumors are going to come true for Jaguar Health, if you're a person who bought at $4, going up $3.50, why not find yourself an opportunity to buy in now? I can't tell you whether to buy or sell, but for me, I'm trying to catch these things. I'm trying to be actively aware of what's going on with the market. Yes, I know there's some news going around. And at the same time, I'm not going to put all my chips in one basket. I'm not going to go all in, drop my money right now, because I don't know what's going to happen Monday. Is the market going to continue going down? I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't know the future. I'm not Notre Dame's, right? But regardless, what we want to make sure we do is we need to capitalize on every dip. So I don't know what your game plans were back in March. If we look at the 1-year chart for the S&P, I know people were buying the dip, right? But where did the dip end? Biggest question. We don't know when it's going to end. Sure, it found support at 2,200, and then we saw it slowly climb back up. And over the year, again, it got saved. The market returned back to a bull market. Everything started going well. We heard things like the vaccine was coming out. But currently, we know that there's the issues happening with the brokerages. People are withdrawing their money because of trust issues, holding their liquid cash, and looking to reinvest using different platforms and different things. So realize all the money is going to come back into the market, guys. Ultimately, that's going to happen. It's going to take some time, but the money is going to come back into the market. People are, freaking out and are very scared, and it's sensible. But again, it's not something that I'm too worried about. Zomedica, same exact thing. If we look at the 1 month, $1.30 at its peak, down 30%. We're going to realize a very, obvious trend here. JAGX, down 30%. I'm going to keep going through all my stocks. Pay attention to the number as I go through. Let's see here. I think Senseonics said a little better than that. But if we go to its all-time high, 20%. But I think it was a little higher. BNGO, impressed. Because again, it really kept its momentum throughout this bear market. But again, 12% down. This is what I really call buying opportunities. We need to pounce on these times, guys. For me especially, it's a no-brainer. BNGO, for example, I bought in like early on, right? Not knowing exactly what I was doing. I was like, this is a young company, but it sounds like they have some decent management, and the product is it's impressive. It impressed me. So I thought to myself, okay, I want to see where this goes. So I'm going to, buy into it. I did around $2, and since then I'm up 400+%. Like I don't know. That's significant enough to think, people are starting to believe in this company. Its market cap has increased significantly, but now we're hearing things like ARK Invest is interested in putting this on their portfolio. If Kathy Wood does something, a lot of people say, there's a good reason behind that, because those are very intelligent. These are people who do this for a living. They're investors. Again, they have a good track record relative to all of us retail investors. Sure, some of us are impressive. We know some people, especially in this space. Sorry, my nose. But still, a lot of the times we need to understand that if a company doesn't have any fundamental issues and we see a pullback because of market crisis, whatever happens, we need to pounce off these things. Look at this. From its all-time high, 1344, I guess it is down significantly, about 30%, 26% here. But it's made its recovery. And what do I think is going to happen? After people start putting their money back into the market, we're going to see these things recover, guys. Might take some time, but it's going to happen. So, CTRM, another one that everyone's been mentioning. Nothing fundamentally changed about the company, but we saw the trade volume and it broke through a lot of resistance points. I bought in at 33 and I sold pretty much immediately because I started getting worried about it. But again, congratulations for all of you who held on, because again, it's doing really well. It went up to 80 cents a share, jeez. But again, unfortunately, it looks like it did have a little bit of a pullback. What's going to happen in the future? I'm not sure. The company doesn't excite me personally, so I don't mean to bash on it because I think it has some potential, but it's not the thing that I'm really interested in. So let's keep on moving. So JAGX we talked about. Zomedica, again, pounce off these drops, guys. If you think it's going to drop more, don't put all your chips in one basket. So let me tell you guys kind of how I'm playing this personally. For me, right now I'm kind of tied up. I don't have much liquid cash to put into the market, but I'm trying to find opportunities to maybe sell on shares that I'm up a lot in. Even with the pullback, they didn't significantly pull back, and maybe redistribute some money into the stocks that did have significant drops during this overall pullback. So really, when it comes to a bleeding market, even if it just lasts a week, if it lasts 2 weeks, if it lasts a month, I don't know how long it's going to last. It all depends on when all this crisis calms down and we see things go back to normal. Again, that's going to take some time, and we need to understand that. But for me, I'll put in, say, we talk about the strike prices, right? And I'm a big fan of strike prices. Finding out what are your entry points for a stock. So for Atossa Therapeutics, for example, like I know for me, I started a position at, I want to say $2.60, right? Because that's where I was comfortable entering into it before I thought it was going to continue having a run up. But unfortunately, we saw the market bleed. Now, looks like it went up to 376 thereafter. So again, a 40% decrease in price. Did anything fundamentally change? No. Is the company in early clinical trials? Yes. So is this going to be a longer term hold before we see significant catalyst or price action with it? Absolutely. So again, for me, it's right now, if you're looking from its all-time high down 40%, almost a no-brainer to at least start a position in. If, again, you believe in the fundamentals, you believe in the things that they have on their pipeline. When it comes to biopharmaceutical companies, if nothing but, again, a bleeding market made it pull back this significantly, pounce. You got to find time to buy in. And, I'm going to keep reiterating that. Guys, it's really a no-brainer. Senseonics, same thing. It didn't really pull back. I mean, it did 25%. We're seeing this 30% pullback in a lot of these penny stocks. And that's one other thing I didn't mention. So during pullbacks, or during when the market is bleeding, especially when the big boys are bleeding, the S&P 500 index companies, Fortune 500s, the Dow, and we see those significantly pull back, penny stocks get hit the hardest because those are the companies that are currently the weakest. They might not have a product. They might have poor revenue. They might have, not the things that the big boys have, not the Amazons, not the Apples, right? So we'll see significant pullbacks with our penny stocks. But again, if you believe in these companies long term, guys, buy the dip. That's going to be the theme of today's live stream. Buy the dip. Because for me, I'm buying the dip. Every chance I get, I'm going to just add a little more. So again, I talked about the strike prices. So for Senseonics, we saw it go all the way to 316. So at 236 right now, if you wanted to start a position and you were waiting for it to have a pullback, this is what I call significant pullback. If you believe in their CGM device, if you believe in their technology that they have, pounce, folks, pounce. Get in on it. Find an entry point that you're comfortable with, and start your position, even if it's slight. In case of more of a pullback, then you add a little more. So at 236, say you have $100 you're willing to invest. Put 25 in just to get some skin in the game, right? Now you have a position. You are a holder of shares, multiple shares of a penny stock that you believe in, Senseonics, for example. Then we see a pullback, put in another 25, right? Say you did buy at 244 Monday morning. After that, we see it pull back to 230, 225, put another 25, right? Keep up. That 25% rule I think is really good, or 33% rule. Some people do by thirds. I'll put in a third now, and you can find days. So Monday, I'm going to put a third of the money I'm willing to invest in it. Wednesday, if it pulls back more, I'm going to put in more money. Or at certain points, which you can establish yourself, another one. Tim Brown, I know a lot of people are frustrated with the market conditions. I understand. Any thoughts on TRXE? Yeah, we could talk about TRXE in a little bit. Welcome everyone else that joined the chat, by the way. We have 119 people now. Smokes. So yeah, BNGO. I didn't talk too much in detail about it, but guys, we did see it significantly pull back, right? From its all-time high. I know price targets, there's some analysts saying the $14 price target. A couple people are now confirming that, but I think it's going to really blow past that personally. So for me, I'm holding BNGO. Not worried about it. If I see entry points come in, if I see anything under $10, guys, I'm hopping in. This 988, I missed it noon yesterday. But again, I thought that was a huge buying opportunity. But again, just didn't have any liquid cash. That's the most important thing right now, guys. Because people are worried about the market conditions, this is a time for those of you who believe in these companies, believe in these things long term. This is the time to buy. Get some skin in the game. I can't tell you at what price to buy or what to buy, but I think if you're interested in being an investor, put in your fair share, the things that you're willing to lose. But again, average down if you see it pull back even more. That's the safest thing to do. VYNE. I talked about this company. I forgot at what price exactly. I think it was at $1.88, and then it went up significantly at the beginning of the week, and it pulled back significantly as well. So we saw it, that 30% rule, guys. We're seeing it all over. Zomedica, JAGX. A lot of these companies pulled back 30% in the last 5 days to last week and a half or so, ever since this mania started. So again, fundamentally, nothing wrong with the company. I know I'm being kind of repetitive, but same thing. If you believe in everything that I mentioned back when it was $1.88 and you think it's going to go back to $3, or if it's going to fly past that, for me, I'm holding long term. Skin in the game. Get a position started if you believe in it, right? I'll talk about Dogecoin at the end, Safi. Definitely. Please do UAVS. We could look at that in a sec. Just want to check in on the chat. Got a whole lot of people. Daryl, welcome. Raw. Zomedica, we just talked about. So let's keep going. CCIV. How many of you are in CCIV? I just want to see in the chat. That'll be fun to see. How many people are in CCIV? What's good, JAGX? Nobody? Looks like no one's responding. I sold CCIV at 26. There you go. Oh, there's a little bit of a delay in the chat, so now I'm seeing it. What do you think? Yeah. Hector. Yeah, so a lot of people are in CCIV. Again, guys, we're buying the rumor. A lot of us are buying the rumor. That's what's going on here with this stock. So again, I think when I talked about it, it was about the $14 range, and we mentioned it on the channel. So it's up 61%. You're up significantly on your position. Now, for anyone who sold, at the peak, brilliant. That's a good thing to do. If you doubled your money, or close to, you hit a home run. 100% gain in that stock. It makes sense, and this is only a rumor. So for all of you who want to, mitigate your risk in case the merger doesn't go through. Again, I'm not a bear. I'm a person who thinks, buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm a big advocate. But when it comes to CCIV, it's like buy the rumor, and if the news comes out, you better keep holding on until we see it fly. Because CCIV has some significant potential. We're seeing it as a luxury electric vehicle, and we know that that's going to be our shift soon. People are switching from conventional vehicles to our electric vehicles, probably in the next decade or so, by 2030, 2031, 2035. the majority of the cars you're going to see outside are electric vehicles. GE came out recently. A friend of mine was telling me that GE came out and said all their vehicles are going to be electric in the coming future by, I think, 2035. So again, we're going to see this EV shift. And for all of us who got in early on these things, we're going to be very happy. You're going to be very, very, very happy. So again, be careful anytime you buy a rumor, just in case that news comes out that things don't go through. If you made significant gains, set a trailing stop loss. That's your safety net. Also, it's realizing in case of a pullback, or in case, say that the news doesn't come out, that's not a bad thing to, have. Again, that's a trailing stop loss. Setting one just in case, but you can even set it down to a level that you think that you're still going to be profiting and comfortable with the gains that you made if the news doesn't go through. So for some, that's maybe the $20 range, 17, I don't know. But you can identify that yourself. Just because, say you're at work, like for me, I'm a person who works full time. So when I'm at work and news comes out, I might not see it first thing. So let's be careful for sure. Setting our trailing stop losses, just in case bad news comes out that they're not going to merge, which would be unfortunate, but something to kind of realize. Aqua Bounty. Someone mentioned this in the chat earlier, and honestly, I'm not invested in Aqua Bounty, but it's obviously significantly has been going up in the past year. If you look at the 1 year mark, the 1 year chart, it dropped all the way down to about $1.50. So it's up significantly. Even in the last few months since November, it's more than 2x. So a nice pullback for anyone who's in Aqua Bounty and you have maybe a higher entry point. You might see this as a buying opportunity. Or for anyone that believes in their technology, a biotech company based in Massachusetts. The company is notable in its research and development for genetically modified fish. Oh, okay. It aims to create products that aim to increase the productivity of the aquaculture. That's super interesting. I don't know enough about the company, but I'm definitely going to keep this one on my radar. I want to read more about this Aqua Bounty. That seems pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty awesome. So I'll look into more about what's the revenue, what the revenue looks like, how they bring in money, and if it's significant enough to keep them afloat. A $500 million evaluation, like market cap and valuation, that's impressive. So did see a pullback, like everything else in the market. So again, guys, anyone that has been looking for entry points, this might be time to pounce and hop in, because we're seeing significant pullbacks. NNDM. Wow, just in the 1 day, it went up to $15 a share. That's pretty crazy. But let's see where NNDM was. So it looks like it peaked. Let's look at the 5 day, $17.22. Came back about 20%. Did anything change about NNDM? Nope. Guys, I'm showing you these charts and I'm showing you the repetition that we're seeing all across. Anybody who is looking to start a position in any company, right now is a good time to get some skin in the game. You don't have to do a significant, you don't have to put in all your chips, as I keep saying. I know some people have been entering the chat. We're almost at 140 people. Welcome, everyone. But we got to be careful. Just in case we see more of a pullback, put some of your chips in if you're interested, and then keep going, following the wave. And if it rides up, guess what? You got your entry point in, and you can average up if you really believe in the company, or average down if it pulls back. I'm going to keep saying that. MP Materials. I'm actually not invested in this one, but it looks like, again, same thing. I know a lot of people have been talking about it. A friend of mine told me about it a while ago, and I think it's interesting what they have going on. But again, same idea. Is there any companies that you guys are in that are actually green this week? That's what I want to know. We could talk about some of the Gamestop, the short squeeze companies, Gamestop. What else? Wall Street Bets, AMC, stock price. Let me close some of these other tabs because we talked about Zomedica, JAGX. What else do we got? AMC, GME. We'll talk about IPO in a second. Nokia. All right. I'm actually in Nokia. I bought a few shares just to see what happens, because it's fun. It's fun. This is all. I think this is what we're seeing is pretty magnificent. People bounding together, the small fish getting together to potentially eat off the big fish who have been chewing at us for a really long time. TNXP. Fun. Atos. We talked about Atos. Atos Therapeutics. Good PR came out. Yeah, again, a lot of companies saw good news this week, guys. A lot of companies saw good news this week. And unfortunately, because of the market conditions, people aren't buying in, which is okay. Because again, at some point, things will get corrected. The market will go back to how it was before, and then everything's going to normalize. So realize that and just be aware. AUPH. Yeah, since that was one of the things I talked about recently, let's talk about it. So Aurinia Pharmaceuticals, they're the ones who just got recent FDA approval for one of the medications for lupus nephritis, if you guys remember. So yeah, we saw it spike up after the news came out, but a significant pullback, 20%, just like the rest of the market, 20 to 30% decrease in a lot of our penny stock picks. This is not a penny stock, but again, low market cap. So again, we're going to see that now they have an additional FDA approved product that is one of a kind in the market that has people that are in need. We're going to slowly but surely, and again, I'm a person who's going to be holding my shares. I think we're going to see this go up and up. So anyone that didn't get to go in before the news came out, because again, it went up about 26% after. So it doesn't look like Wall Street was too impressed, because again, they're going to want to see revenues. For these pharmaceutical companies, FDA approval for their products is a single catalyst. More catalysts are how much of their product is actually going out there and being distributed and used by patients. So that's the other thing we're going to have to see. So it's going to take some time, and how many doctors are actually prescribing it because they believe in the product as well. So we have to remember there's pretty much this triad. The patient, how patients do how patients do on a medication, how much doctors are prescribing them, right? And then lastly, the distribution and revenue. Like how much is the company actually bringing in over time? These are all things that are important. Amazon, LOL. I heard something about Amazon earlier, but I don't know what happened to Amazon. Just a slight pullback, nothing crazy. Again, strong companies stay afloat during market pullbacks. But 4% this week, decent entry point. If you're a person that's looking for big long-term growth stocks, that's not a bad idea. Apple, how'd Apple do this week? Sorry guys, I'm just going through a bunch of stuff, but my dad's. Oh, that's pretty cool that your dad's a sales rep. That's awesome. Let me see here. Apple, significant pullback with no fundamental issues with the company. Okay, so for anybody that is looking to start into a growth stock, I think Apple just might be one of the bigger buying opportunities. Guys, look at this drop. We know how well the iPhone 12 did, the Apple Watch this past in Q4. We saw the revenue, but significant pullback. Looks like Facebook preparing a lawsuit against Apple over the App Store. Maybe some news that's surrounding Apple that's causing this pullback, but man, we know Apple has good lawyers. I might be actually starting a position on Monday. I didn't see this actually today till it was just mentioned. So thank you forever. Is that Apple and Amazon, decent entry points right now. So yeah, Aurinia Therapeutics or Pharmaceuticals, same thing, guys. We saw it pull back, but I think it's going to do well over time. Definitely. So going to hold tight. Any bullish indicator, TNXP. I'm not sure if there's any catalyst on the way. How much is it before FDA approval? Peter, I just showed for Aurinia Therapeutics, it was 1486, and it was kind of consolidating around there. So it might pull back some more because it's still higher than it was before, but it did pull back significantly from its high this week. So kind of keep that in mind. Gamestop. I know this is something that people are anticipating, so I'll talk about it a little bit. SOS, Jose, how are you doing? Dexter, I'll talk about IPO in a little bit. But yes, hold tight. Instead of the go up, I expect 25 to 30. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But GameStop. So again, one of our short squeezes with this whole Wall Street bets fiasco. Since it's all-time high, like everything else in the market, we saw a pullback. This was the most significant pullback here. I know a lot of people this was the scare that happened just yesterday. Yeah, that's within the matter of an hour and a half. It went from $469 Holy smokes. I'm sorry for anyone who ended up selling at that bottom, but geez, it did end up recovering 100% in the next hour, and now we're seeing it up 146%. So I don't know what's going to happen. Right now, there's a lot of question marks, and we're trying to await and see what's going to happen next week. What the SEC and, what everyone's going to say about all the different, things that we saw in the market, right? Brokerages weren't allowing people to buy stocks. So is that okay? You have your own opinion. For me, it's kind of an obvious one. What do you want to see happen next week? There's going to be a lot, right? There's going to be a lot of people stepping in and trying to assess and address what happened. So we need to hear something. We need to hear something soon. And I'm sure everyone's going to be awaiting, maybe this weekend even, if this is more of an emergent type thing, not something that we can really wait for. So let's remember that for sure. All right, so GameStop, again, if you're part of this movement, congratulations to you. I'm sure over time, I think the small sharks are probably going to end up, again, I'm going to start calling them sharks because I truly think they are. We're going to see something, right? But again, for anyone that is worried about the stock market conditions and anyone that is worried about what is currently happening, we need to understand, maybe you do want to wait. We kind of want to wait for answers before putting money into the market. That's very, very valid. That's okay. That's normal. There's too many questions we have, so let's be careful, everyone. Please don't get in on this because of, there's going to be a lot of buying pressure. AMC, up 53% on the day. That's significant. Again, they were targeted. They're doing well. We saw it peak at about $19, pulled back significantly. Done a little bit of recovery thereafter. So again, I'm going to keep reiterating. I want everyone to just always be careful before going in deep. Let's interact with the comments a little bit before moving forward. What are you guys saying? At your pop, I think there's a major liquidity crisis brewing in the background. Why would trading platforms limit buying of any shares? Tim, that's a good point that you bring up. A lot of people are looking at they're pulling money out of the market right now because there's some trust issues going around, and we're trying to identify solutions for those things by hearing some statements. We need people to address these problems that we're seeing. We're yet to see them. So I did talk about CCIV, Lack. I did talk about CCIV. Foreign collections report. Stop live. Okay. IPOE. I didn't talk about IPOE, so let's look at IPO real quick because I said I would. IPOE. So IPOE, very anticipated. Chamath, Social Capital, had Sophia. So they are merging with SoFi, which is potentially going to be used as a brokerage platform, basically for people to buy and sell stocks. That's going to be one of the things that SoFi provides. And a lot of people are looking at it as, hey, the SoFi people didn't have any issues with during the craziness in the past 5 days, which ended up being a catalyst, right? People are looking at putting their money into this platform because they're trusting Chamath, they're trusting the product, they're trusting the organization, because again, they didn't put any restrictions on trading whatsoever during the time being. So what happened? That was a catalyst. People started believing in their work, and guess what? The stock price went up, and it's probably going to continue going up. Look what happened in the aftermarket. A lot of people are saying Dead Inside, right? A bigger YouTuber, much bigger than me. He mentioned that he's interested in buying IPOE now because of all that's been going on. People need to make sure they trust their brokerage. It's 100%. Like I totally agree with that. So for RH, all the other users, for whatever platform you use, make sure that you are comfortable continuing using it after what we saw, unless these things are addressed next week. So I'm waiting to see what will happen in the foreseeable future and how they're going to handle the situation that just took place. So guys, let's continue to hold strong. For all of you long-term holders, I know some people are saying they want to sell out their positions, they don't trust the stock market, but that's not reasonable. This is just something that needs to be addressed, and I think things are going to start being corrected. But I know we're seeing a big shift. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. Cryptocurrency market, basically. Overview. Market cap, look at this. Wall Street bets number 0. That's actually funny to me. They have them right up top over Bitcoin. That's pretty funny. So regardless, circulating supply 51 million. Okay, that's humorous. But regardless, we're seeing a lot of people shift their money. That's what we saw with the whole Dogecoin surge. People are taking their money, pulling it out of the market, and putting it into the cryptocurrency market. Because again, they're thinking, yes, there's some potential with crypto, but the big thing is it's the fact that it's decentralized, unregulated. It allows people to do free trade without having to really worry about, things like short sellers, that kind of thing. But unfortunately, there's a lot of things that we can't do with crypto that you can do in the stock market, like trading options, etc., etc. So if that ever becomes a thing, possibly it can. That's gonna probably cause some significant movement with it. Dogecoin. We did see a pullback quite a bit today. Wow, it's 32 cents. Pulled back a lot. I didn't even know that. So down 24% on the day, still up 262%. But that has been one of the big pushes with Wall Street bets. They've been focused on Dogecoin, and that caused a short squeeze to make it go up to, I think, 84 cents. So it went up significantly. I think it was up 400% yesterday by itself, which is just insane. Do you think Robinhood lost a lot of users? So again, a lot of people came in. Yeah, RH, again, I don't want to talk about controversial topics, but a lot of people, if you're following the news, you saw all the Google reviews, you saw all the things that people are saying about these companies. They're pulling out. They're pulling out their money from their brokerages, and they're trying to find one that they don't have, conflict of interest with and that kind of thing. 20K to exercise a contract and have 195 strike price, since they are being skimpy with the restrictions. Robin, yeah, I know. There's a lot of controversy, but it is what it is. I'm hoping we hear statements and change. We need change. That's the big thing here. APXT, oh Larry. APXT, let's talk about it. It's another one that pulled back, but it kind of consolidated throughout it didn't pull back too heavy. APXT. Yeah, APXT. So in the last 5 days, 1576, pulled back about 5% from its all-time high though. I think it even hit 17, so this might not be the most accurate, down 12%. Guys, AV Point and APXT are going to be merging. SPACs got hit hard during this market pullback. And unfortunately, it's inevitable. Like for them to sometimes pull back with the market conditions. Again, these are SPACs. A lot of people see them as they're not really companies yet. They're looking to merge or have definitive agreements to merge with a company, but haven't quite yet. So with APXT, it's going to happen Q1. That's the plan. So we're going to see, I think, the price continue to climb after this pullback that recently occurred. So I'm not too worried about any of these pullback guys. I'm in APXT, been in since $10 and 75, 80 cents, and I'm holding strong. That's me personally, though. All right. I don't know what's going to happen with Dogecoin, Don. I'm really not sure. Not sure what's going to happen. Can you look up shorters? I don't know. I know there's some big shorter. There's big names that have been thrown out in the last week or so, but I don't know any off the top of my head. CURIS. Yeah, that's another friend of mine was telling me about yesterday. It had a good day after all. Let's see, 5 day looks like peaked around 1186, a little bit of pullback. 1280, so dropped significantly, but recovered. Excuse me, but it did recover. So, again, I know it's a biotech company. I forget exactly what they do. Let's see, subsidiaries. So it's somewhat like. I'll have to look into this one to do more digging and research, but I have a friend of mine that's super excited about CRIS, CRIS. So Curis Biotech. They do have some potential for sure. There's a lot of people in the chat. Wow. It's the most I've seen in the chat. Telemedicine, HIMS. Green day for me. Congrats, Don. Please do UAVS. UAVS. What will the price target for? I don't know. I know they're doing some innovative things. Again, sorry, I don't know exactly enough about it to really mention. But again, I'll keep it on my radar, and maybe I can make a video about it in more detail. What was the name of the person I brought up? Curis, Chris. Jose, love you too, man. I appreciate you. We'll talk about BlackBerry in a sec. Well, thank you whoever brought up Curis. That's one I'll definitely add to the watch list and look further into it for sure. Telemedicine HIMS. UAVS, I think is the one you said. What's going on with this one? Aerial Systems. NYCE American. So it's in the New York Stock Exchange. 1497. Looks like it had a significant pullback like the rest of the market the past week or so. 9 days, 34%. They acquired a smaller company, looks like $23 million acquisition that they went through. So that's pretty cool. 30% decrease. I'll have to look at this one. UAVS. I'll definitely do more research about it. I like the dip that I see, if there's no fundamental issues with the company. I think that's significant enough to make it a buying opportunity for those who are, again, interested in what they have to offer. So I'll do more research about it. But NIO, people have mentioned NIO a few times today, so let's talk about NIO. NIO, one of my favorite stocks, pulled back significantly this week. So guys, for me, I am long on NIO. I think NIO is going to do well over time. It is a company that is, again, the leader of EV in China, and because of that, they have strong potential. China is banning the use of non-EV vehicles by did they say 2025? I'm gonna say 2030. Don't quote me or correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or in the chat. But yeah, I think NIO, I just see this as a buying opportunity. For anyone that wants to find a strike price, we said anything under $60, that's probably a good buying opportunity. At 57, I think this is great. So for anyone interested in NIO, if you're interested in the EV space, this is one of the big dogs right there with Tesla, right? $90 billion market cap. Because this is the question I always ask myself before I put money into a stock. In 10 years, where do I see this be? Where do I see NIO in 10 years? For me, if they continue the momentum and continue to, expand the types of vehicles that they provide, right? They now have the sedan that they're going to start manufacturing and hopefully distributing in 2022. I see the stock going, just sky high, 3, 4, 5, $600 billion market cap, 5, 6, 7x in price. So for anyone that's in it now, in 10 years, you might say, man, I wish I would have bought in, because this is going to be one that, because of the demand, it's going to have to continue supplying this demand for EVs. NIO is going to do very well over time. So don't sleep on NIO. I am invested in NIO. I'm long on NIO, and I think it's going to do well over time. Again, my opinion. Tesla, the behemoth Tesla, down 11% on the week. 11%, guys. The market is pulling back. Now, understand this. A lot of people are pulling out of their positions, as I've kept saying over and over throughout the night. People are pulling out of their positions in certain brokerages, and that's causing the sell-off. And because of the sell-off, whether it's intentional or not, because again, they're shifting their money from one platform to another, that's going to cause more and more people to sell, especially people who are using RH or whatever brokerage you were using before. It's causing a decrease in the price, a significant decrease in the big boys that were used by retail investors. Retail investors are the big ones who are fueling Tesla's success. We need to understand that. Same thing for NIO. Retail investors are the guys that are, really some of the biggest catalysts for this company from the investor side are the retail investors. So when I see things like this, 793, I didn't foresee this ever happening for Tesla. For anyone that doesn't have a position that's been looking for an entry point, get some skin in the game. Why not? But again, not financial advice, but potentially get some skin in the game, buy some, because guys, this might be the only time we'll see it under 800 in the near future. If it pulls back more, average down, but at least I think again we see Tesla as not just it's not a normal EV company. Tesla is an energy behemoth. It is a beast that has potential. Look, they're getting into the console space, for God's sake. Did you guys see their new car that was just released? They just released information about it today. They have a console in their car that's competing with PlayStation, Xbox, etc. So don't sleep. don't sleep. Tesla has big potential. Adrian, I'm right there with you, man. I'm confident with NIO too. Also, my favorite stock is a long-term holder. Absolutely, man. Wait on Chinese stocks. They might go lower. U.S. and Chinese tension. Possibly. I've been selling calls, riding the waves. For sure. For sure. Now, we're seeing a lot of pullbacks. So anyone who's pouncing on the pullbacks that we're seeing this week, congratulations to you. I really think you're going to do well over time. You might have to be patient. But again, we're going to see, regardless, the market, anytime it pulls back, it recovers and does better. Remember that, guys. Always remember that. So Tesla, talk to that. Sorry, my nose is itching. CRNT. I actually have shares in CRNT. But yeah, again, they're a network company because they're looking at, because of the 5G expansion, this company really does have some strong potential. 30% pullback this week. Anyone that's looking for an entry point, you found them. Guys, entry points. I keep reiterating it. Entry points. For me, I want to make as much money as possible, right? That's why we're investors. We want to help out our families. I come from Sudan. If I can get, more and more money, that's more and more money that I'm able to, help my family out with, etc. So I see that the market is one way to do that. Buying stocks is one way to do that. And over time, money will grow. And then you're able to give back more and more and more. So that's always a goal. And, if you're like-minded, great. If not, having more money is never a bad thing. That's one of the biggest rate-limiting steps in most people's lives is money. Tasabih, Sudani. Yes, absolutely. Love Sudan. The homeland. About 200 more shares. As soon as they say to the moon. Yeah, right? Hey, Ahmed. Welcome to the chat, bro. Got a lot of people. So yeah, we covered a lot today. We're almost at the 1 hour mark. What stocks will snap back if COVID ends? What stocks will snap back if COVID ends? That's a good one, Josh. I think that's a good point. I think all the airline stocks, right? So we saw the airline industry and retail industry got hit the hardest due to the pandemic. I know American Airlines, had that whole short squeeze thing that happened that made it go from $15 a share all the way up, about 30%, and it pulled back down to about $17 a share. So keep the airline stocks in mind. We don't know how close we are to ending this pandemic. At my pharmacy personally, we are starting to administer the vaccine. Other healthcare systems are administering the vaccine, and Biden promises us that vaccine rollout is one of his big things that he's focused on. Yes, cruise lines are also potentially, they are going to probably recover because, retired folks and people with money, they like going on cruises. It's, again, part of that industry. Also, the theater industry. People are saying the theater industry is dying. But honestly, like for example, if we look at Marcus Theaters, yes, it was dying pre-COVID. Theaters, stock. If we see pre-COVID, the industry as a whole, overall, sure, it had a significant pullback because less and less people are going to the movies and instead using Netflix, Amazon Video, Hulu, whatever it might be that you're in. So again, we saw it substantially pull back. But after the pandemic, since it dropped to $7, we saw it kind of make a decent recovery. Not back to pre-pandemic numbers yet, but I see movie theaters, again, the things that we're not able to do right now because of all the limitations we have with the social distancing restrictions. We need to pounce on some of these stocks. So movie theater industries, AMC, I know right now that's been part of the short squeeze. People think it was a dying industry, but I think people are going to go back to the movies. People want to go out on date nights, right? With their spouses, with their friends, families, whatever. They want to go out, and one way to do that is going to the movies. I also mentioned retail stores. So Macy's, Nordstrom, all those big retail settings that people, had to end up switching to online shopping for a while. Yes, e-commerce is taking over, but I still think those stocks have room to recover still from the pandemic. So let's also realize that. It's not dying. Movie nights, kids love movies. Absolutely. I'm with you. I'm reading you there. Nokia. Okay. So this is just, again, when's the last time anyone saw a Nokia phone, right? Nokia. I'm from Sudan, so in Africa, people still use Nokia phones here and there, but we're seeing more of a shift into the Androids and that kind of thing. So also realize that. But anywho, with Nokia, part of, again, Wall Street bets, the way that they picked some of these companies to do the whole short squeeze to show off these short sellers is by targeting companies that were doing very bad, and they had a lot of short sellers betting against them, Nokia being one. Again, with Nokia though, they're looking at maybe going into different, they're trying to expand some of their services. So for Nokia, for me, I bought into it. I will be transparent just to see what happens, right? If this continues a short squeeze and we see a bounce back, we might see it. We might see it past the $6, $7, $8 range. We'll see what happens. Again, a lot of question marks because we don't know exactly what's to happen next week when the SEC comes out and gives their 2 cents. So we're still waiting to identify what exactly is going to go on. So we got to be patient. Yeah, they're in the 5G network now. That's true. Yeah, I don't know too much about Nokia. Again, telecommunications in general, they're going to have to infiltrate the 5G space. But again, overall, Nokia as a company they haven't been doing the best, right? Look at the 5-year, look at the max. Back in 2000, everyone had a Nokia phone, fantastic. But since then, it's dropped, 10 times in price. So we don't know what's going to happen. Can it go back to its all-time high in the future because they do well in the 5G space, or they come out with a product that people like? Possibly. But right now, Androids and Apple products are really controlling the majority of our cell phone market. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. Workhorse, one of our EV plays, Workhorse stock. So we heard Joe Biden came out and said all governmental fleet vehicles are going to be going electric, effective ASAP, as soon as possible. Workhorse, we know, was in talks to get the they're in talks to get the USPS contract, right? That was the big thing. That was the initial catalyst. If we look at the 1 year, the initial catalyst that, of course, with the EV boom in the summer, and then we saw Workhorse potentially is going to get this USPS contract to change all the USPS fleet vehicles to electric vehicles, Workhorse specifically. But then we saw it pull back because the contract was delayed. They said maybe Q1 2021, so sometime now. But again, finally, because of the Joe Biden news that he came out and said we're going to switch all this. And that's the thing about Joe Biden, guys. He's a person that wants to save the planet. He wants to make us as green as possible, and that's his biggest focus. So we're seeing this bounce in all the different EV fleet space, basically. See, Lordstown Motors, right? Lordstown Motors. Overall, had a pretty good week. Yes, it peaked around $29 and it pulled back 15%. But if you look at even the 1 month, like from its all-time low, let's see, from 6 months, $13, it's up significant, 92% up. So Lordstown is doing well as well. A lot of our EV picks, a lot of the ones that people are in, are doing well overall. So congrats to you. TRXC, I'm covering a lot of different stocks. But we did see it go up to 338 just today on the 1 day. Wow. It pulled back significantly, about 8%, not too bad. Overall, a good day. But again, guys, they're looking to infiltrate the surgery space. Again, they have some of those robots, the surgical robots that are currently being used. They're being used mainly in Europe. So Transenterix, I think, has some great potential. They just have to get more adoption here in the United States for their stock to do well. So we heard just lots of news around it, but we'll have to see what happens with Transenterix. I do believe in it, though. I believe in it long term. I think they'll do well, but we'll see. Buy Samsung. Yeah, Samsung would be nice. They're a company that does pretty well overall. CVS Pharma. Anything else? Let's see. I'm looking in here. Joe doesn't know what the month is. Chase exactly. And bro, what are your thoughts about Workhorse stocks? Yeah, we just talked about Workhorse. I have Workhorse shares, and I'm going to continue holding. So again, that's kind of my BlackBerry. Let's talk about it. Because they talked about, I think with BlackBerry, if I'm not mistaken, they want to get into some electric vehicles, and that's the thing that's been kind of impressing. And aside from that, also they're part of the whole short squeeze for the Wall Street Bets community. So it's down 50% from its all-time high. Jeez. That's why, guys, these were all very risky plays. So for anyone that got in way at the peak, I'm sorry. I know you lost a substantial amount, or if you were trading options for BlackBerry. But yeah, we'll see what happens. If they're able to get some contracts going and some companies decide to, adopt BlackBerry as part of their smart systems in their vehicles, the stock will do well over time. I am sure about that. So let's see what happens. We talked a lot about stocks. Everyone excited for the weekend? Hope you guys are. Hopefully no one has to work. Working on the weekends is terrible. I have to do it sometimes. I'm going to scroll up on the chat and see airlines, stocks, and cruise lines as well. Yep, exactly, Eric. Ryan, say to the moon. Yeah. Will JAGX go to $5? I don't know. I can't predict the future, but I'm not holding just to see a dollar amount. I'm holding till, at least all the rumors that I'm buying into come true, and I kind of want to just see how the company does overall. If I see the price significantly, increase over the next few months, I'll probably sell some of my position. But again, Jaguar Health is something that I am long-term and bullish on because I think they're going to do well with all the potential things that are going to happen for them. With my Tessie as a product, I really think we need better anti-diarrheal treatment for a lot of patients, not even just those who are on ART or antiretroviral therapy, rather, some of the other ones. Chill out, Malcolm. Yeah, let's chill out. Definitely. All right. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about. It was really fun chatting with everyone. Thank you all for coming in and giving me your stock picks, etc. And appreciate everyone. If you're not in the Discord, by the way, please feel free to join the Discord. I'm on as often as I can be. Maybe not as often as I want, but again, thanks CYB. I appreciate it. Yep, no problem. Yeah, you guys are all rock stars. It was really fun chatting with everyone. SLV. I don't know about SLV. I'll have to look into that one. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been talking about SoFi. That's why I am super interested in IPOE. SoFi has some strong potential, I think. Beyond Meat. Do you see meatless future possible? I do. Dunder. Actually, let's talk about Beyond Meat for a second. BYND. $11.16 billion. Yeah, that's a pretty big market cap. The company's growing. LA-based Beyond Meat. They're creating products, these plant-based meat substitutes, to allow people to, especially those who are vegan, vegetarian. A lot of studies are also coming out. Like, a lot of people aren't really paying attention to the fact that studies are coming out showing positive correlation between those who are on a vegan diet, as long as they're taking the proper supplementation, or vegetarian diet, over the conventional meat eaters when it comes to certain health conditions and health outcomes, especially if you have heart disease, if you have cardiovascular disease, things like certain neuropathies, for example, nerve pain, nerve damage, decreased amount of meat, or obviously things like recurrent gout attacks, gouty arthritis. All these different things that are coming out and showing us that potentially switching to a more plant-based diet. Again, I'm not a person who believes in all one way or the other. I believe in, overall, if you can have a very balanced diet, that's the way to do it. But again, because of all this, we saw it surge quite a bit, in 2019. Came back down. There was some pretty strong buying opportunities. But I think for Beyond Meat, is that the 5-day? Yeah, even in the 5-day, down because the market pulled back this week. So if you're long on and you believe in it, I think it's some buying opportunities have presented themselves. But I do see some potential with Beyond Meat. Thank you for bringing that up. Actually, I'm not invested currently, but after seeing this pullback, it's one of those long-term growth companies because more and more people are looking to potentially buy in, or more and more people are switching from the conventional diet to, you know, more plant-based. So I think with that being said, the demand is going to be there. Pike, we have some vegans in the chat, so there you go. All right. Discord, let me grab the link for you real quick. Yeah, definitely. I'll put it directly in the chat so you guys can hop right in. Let me see where it's at. Let me get in on that. Give me 1 second here. Add in chat. I'll grab you guys the link. Discord, here it is. We have a lot of members in Discord. We have 1,800 members. So hopefully it's not overwhelming. Free Discord. There it is. Free Discord link is right over there. Yeah. He said I feel bad for vegans. So do humans. Can you post the invite link? Yep. There it is. Yeah. Let's talk about EXPR. I talked about AUPH. I talked about Arena Pharmaceuticals and what I think about. We saw a pullback again after good news. So what do we say? EXPR. Express. That's been one of our big ones. Yeah, we talked about BNGO earlier. Mohammed, and I'm actually Sudanese. I'm not Somali, but pretty much the same thing, right? East African gang. But when it comes to Express, guys, I talked about it in my channel. I don't know if not a lot of people watched the video, but I talked about Express at about $1 after the what was it? I want to say $400 million bailout that they got, or 140 million, 400 or 140. But one of the big banks, either Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, one of them bailed them out, and I was like, I think that we're going to see some significant price action, which we did. And then, of course, it was part of the whole short squeeze, as some of the big retail companies, retail stores, were also picked as some of those targets, which helped the stock a lot. But since then, we saw it run up quite a bit and now pull back. Do I think it's overvalued now that it's at these levels? Potentially. It might be. So we might see more of a pullback. But we'll see what happens. Salam Ahmed, what's going on? What do you think is going on with Doge? Have to ask. Yeah, Doggy, Dogecoin, however you want to pronounce it. As I was telling everyone in the chat early on, I bought in, but I don't know what's going to happen with it. No clue. It's a cryptocurrency. Again, it was brought up on the Reddit thread for Wall Street Bets. We'll see what they do. That thread is powerful. And Ronnie, we talked about Atossa Therapeutics. Again, I think it's presenting a great buying opportunity if you believe in something long-term like Atossa. I always say, buy the dip. Oh, you can't? I didn't know that. Gotcha. I just looked to see if other people were messaging me about it. Oh, Obsiva. Thanks for the info, Pop. Yeah, Sahil Patel. Let me actually put that. That's another one we talked about recently. Obsiva has had a pretty rough time. Peaked her at $4. 450 looks like it peaked at. I think it even peaked higher than that. But again, I use Google. I know you could use TradingView or something better to look at price action. But just in the last 5 days, if you look at it, it's pulled back about 12-13%. Obsiva, guys, you got to remember, we're still waiting for FDA approval. We're waiting for these other catalysts. So I think this pullback is healthy with the rest of the market. It all came pulling back. But the potential that Wall Street sees in this one, I think the the average price target was around $15, $16, maybe $20, I want to say. So if you're looking at it long term for the next 12 months, you might have some nice returns with Obsiva. Not one of those that you buy in and you look at every day. That's one of those that you put in the portfolio. That's why I like using multiple brokerages, is not only for Robinhood or whatever you might be using before. If you have multiple, you can put stocks that you don't want to look at every day, on one portfolio, and then another can have stocks that you do look at every day that you might day trade, etc. So it's not a bad thing to think about maybe starting up additional brokerages, especially with the time being now and how crazy things have been. Me personally, I'm a big fan of Webull. I don't want to put bias, but I am an affiliate, so anyone that is interested in using Webull, this is a good time maybe for me to plug. You get 4 free stocks with depositing $100. So yeah, not a bad thing to maybe be in. And guys, I want to talk about, we hit 12K. I never mentioned it on the channel, but congratulations to the family. We are growing so fast. 12,200 members as part of the Europop family. So thank you all, as always. I thank everyone so much for all that you guys do, sharing, spreading the word. I appreciate every one of you. So yeah. Oh, I didn't know that Dogecoin got locked out. Yes, Chrome, we talked about all those. We talked about AMC, GME, and Express throughout the chat today. It was super fun, actually. I enjoyed it. Switchback Energy. Yeah, I'm actually not invested in Switchback because I found out about it way too late. But I think, again, if we're just going to probably see it go further and further. We'll see what with EV Go now. Some competition is always a good thing. But I know a lot of people are focusing on that one, too. So, yeah. Sin, no problem at all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for those who continue to donate on these live chats. It does help out the channel, so thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. It really does help out the channel, so thank you. Jonathan, I think it was, and we had another person, so appreciate you guys. Zomedica, we're still waiting. True Pharma is on its way. I'm holding my shares tight, so we'll see what happens with it long term. Interesting profile picture, King David. Oh, oh, that's funny. Option call. What do you think about that? I don't know much about Ally or ALLY. That's not what I'm familiar with, so not sure, David. I don't know if it's gonna go up or down or where it's at, but hopefully you get some. You should make some gear. Jose, I could do that. I can do that. Yeah, I'm trying to find someone to maybe design something like something for the Europop channel. That'd be pretty awesome. I'm all about it. True Former release date. Yeah, so True Former is going to be released March 30th, 2021. So this year, in about 2 months from now, it's going to be released. That's the goal that they have as a company. So we'll see if it holds well. Oof, my Arabic is so bad. Yeah. Yeah, yes, something about just returned back from work. Moment, I'm trying to read your Arabic. Ya Rayul. Hey, man. And I don't want to embarrass myself. رجعت من الشغل. That's the last things I read there. Thank you, Ahmed. Have a relaxed weekend, everyone. Bedtime now. It's 4 a.m. in the UK. Arash, go get some rest. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. March 29th, we pray. Yes, AV10. Let's do it. Yeah, Zol. Alright, guys. I'm going to end the stream there. It carried on longer than I thought it would. So thank you all for tuning in. As always, please be careful with your investments. Respect your money so it can respect you. Do not go all in on these YOLO plays. That's not the smart and safe thing to do. I appreciate all of you for coming in. And as always, until next time.